Thanks for checking out this video. Don't forget, like and subscribe.
But yes, as good as the grappling was, the crowd was not into much of anything they did, except when the fork and the chain were involved. And they didn't wake up at one point when Moxley hit a curb stomp and they started singing Seth Rollins' song.
Yeah.
So they were into that. They were into forks and guys in other shows. But no, for whatever reason, they were not terribly into Kyle O'Reilly and Jon Moxley.
I'm going to talk about Moxley now because we're going to go over the post-match, so you don't have to remind me at the end.
Gotcha.
So after the match, Moxley has been defeated. He's submitted again. He's given up again. He tapped out violently. And he looks over at Kyle, and he gives him a nod of respect. And so he kind of gets out of the ring, and he's limping. He's giving this guy his respect. Marina's all sad. But then, after giving him respect for submitting him, he gets out of the ring and he looks back and he sees that Kyle still hasn't gotten up because he had Pillmanized his arm before the submission.
Yes.
And Kyle's selling it like he's got a broken arm. And they got all these medics in the ring. And Jon Moxley, who had just given him respect, he looks at this guy. And then it's like he thinks, all right, I may have tapped out, but I beat his ass. Look at this guy. He can't even stand up. Maybe I'm not such a loser after all. And then he gets in the ring and starts beating Kyle's ass again. And when I watched it, I was just like, I don't get it. But
I got it. But
what did you get out of this?
that he's a lying weasel. And he was feigning respect the entire time.
But I don't think he was feigning respect. I think he really gave him respect until he saw that the guy was so injured he couldn't get up, which made him feel like, because I'm walking off and you can't walk out, I actually was the winner. Like he changed his mind. Whatever. The point is this. Whatever happened, Moxley's got a plan. Okay? Have I mentioned that every time I have a question about something this guy does, it always turns out like he has a plan in the end? And I bring it up because, as we'll get to, the main event was Hangman and Joe. We'll talk about all that later, but the point is, it did not have a lot of heat, okay? It did not have a lot of heat. It was 4.5 hours into the show. The crowd was pretty much dead for a lot of the match. And I was texting with somebody in AEW that had actually been on the show. And during this match, they were just like, I cannot imagine working the main event of one of these shows. They're so long, and it's so hard to get the crowd into the match. And I responded, man, this Moxie did like 8 months straight. And then I really started thinking about it. And do you remember when Moxie was headlining as champion with the Death Riders? Do you remember those matches?
A lot of them, yeah.
Okay. There would be some blood and everything like that, and sometimes they'd do some hardcore stuff near the end.
Oh, on the show, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like the first half or more of those Jon Moxley matches were wrestling matches. He was in there doing a wrestling match after all of this crazy shit for 4 hours. And the crowd was just sitting there. And that's when you'd go on Twitter and you'd see all these people going, they got to take the belt off Moxley. The people don't care about Moxley. Well, now in hindsight, I'm thinking, what is he doing now that he lost the title? Every single one of his matches is a crazy bloodbath, ultra-violent match from the opening bell. Why wasn't he doing that in the main event when he was champion? I think it was because it was by design. It was one of the 50 things this guy was doing to make you as a fan so sick of him. You got to take remember we heard that? You got to take the belt off this guy. Nobody cares about his matches. These matches are boring. Blah, 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 blah. Well, by the time he got to Hangman, these people were dying for him to lose the title. And Hangman winning that title from Moxley was like the biggest AEW moment of the year. Right? The end of All In?
Yep.
Was there a bigger moment than that?
Oh, God, no.
It's all by design by this crazy dude. So I never doubt anything he does. I didn't fully figure out what happened at the end of this match, but I guarantee that he's got some crazy plan that's going to play out probably into them all beating his ass or whatever. But
it's funny you should mention that, because what happened here in the post-match, you talked about Moxley, yes. He nodded at Kyle. It was sort of a visual handshake. He looked like he showed respect, conceding, okay, I admit it, you're the better man, and you made me quit. He leaves. He sees Kyle still down. I think my opinion, he saw Kyle vulnerable, went for his revenge. But whatever. The conglomeration runs out. The Death Riders run out, and they're all standing by Moxley's side. No, there's no fighting here. They each stand by their guy. But if you look at the Death Riders, they are shook. They are gotten to. They can't believe their general didn't just fail, but then behave the way he did afterwards.
Yes.
It wasn't just that they have lost faith in him. It looked like they felt he had lied to them. And they're not sure what to do. And there is a moment where Moxley leaves. He's pumping his fist. He's doing middle fingers. He's all fired up. He's being Jon Moxley, whatever the hell his nickname is. And Garcia gives Claudio a look. He just looks at him, and there's a confused look in his face. He practically shrugs. He's not sure what to do. And Claudio just dips his head towards Moxley one time, just that. Just follow him. And they follow him, but this is going to be important.
Oh, yeah.
This
was all 100% by design.
This loss is going to have ramifications. I don't know if it's going to be Wednesday. It may be somewhere down the line. They do tend to drag these things out in AEW, but I'm quite certain none of that was an accident.
Oh, no. There's no accidents with Jon Moxley.
So that was all quite great as well. Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe in a no DQ match, which is somehow different than a no-holds-barred match, even though it's just right afterwards.
I could not believe that they did 2 of these in a row.
Yeah.
And then followed it up with a party match.
Kinda.
And then tried to... well, it was supposed to be a party match, but the point is, the crowd wasn't into that like a normal Young Bucks match because they'd just seen 2 crazy gimmick matches.
Yeah.
And then poor Mercedes and Statlander died a death. And then Hangman and Joe died a death. The match placement on this show was astounding to me. Are you one of those youngsters today who listens to Spotify? I don't even know what it is. But I do know this. All of our podcasts are available at Spotify. You can head up right now and sign up. The easiest way to do so, f4wonline.com/Spotify. And for just $9.99 per month, you can listen to 84 podcasts on any given month. 84! 2 to 3 podcasts every single day covering pro wrestling and mixed martial arts. And if you think about $9.99 per month, that's just pennies per day. So check it out today on Spotify. That's f4wonline.com/Spotify. f4wonline.com/Spotify.